Hello, let's do Wordle number 1119 for Friday, July 12th. And I asked for two starting words related to Lord of the Rings. And Sentient Roomba suggested trees and beard for Treebeard, the Ent. All gray, amazing. All right. So I get to guess whatever I want. I could try to get lucky. Let's see if there's maybe something better. It's not bad, considering what letters are left. You know, and I do start betweenal with lucky. So let's just try to get lucky here with lucky. Okay, for a second I thought lucky was also going to be all gray. We end in Y. Are we one of those traps that end in Y? There's a lot of end in Y traps, and we're down to 3 guesses already. There's stuff like mommy. There's stuff like poppy. There's other things. We did get rid of a lot of useful letters that would normally be possible. There's whiny, I think. I think that's a word. They're spelled that way, at least. I don't know if pippy's a word. The problem with poppy and mommy is I really don't want to be guessing 3 P's or 3 M's right now, but I would like to use a P or an M. P and an M, likely. Is there like pygmy? Actually, I don't mind pygmy at all. Gets the P and the M, and G is actually doubled up a lot as well and involved in these, so let's try it. Just the I and Y, but we got rid of the P, G, and M. That's a decent result. Okay, we're down to 2 guesses. We got to think about what all of our options are and see if we need a filler. One thing I want to think about is, do we have an O? O-I does not seem reasonable. I-O... with the Y at the end, I'm not sure. I don't really see how. Okay, so I don't think we used an O. I think we just have this one I, and that's it. So I don't know if ninny would be an answer. Also, I don't really like guessing that right now. What are our options, though? I keep thinking of 50, but there's no T. There's also no S for 60. The numbers are always difficult to think of, so I specifically thought about them, but I think we're good on there. 90, also not possible. No T. What about something like fizzy? That would be really tough. Fizzy is the most likely that I've seen. I'd hate to guess fizzy and have it be all gray, though, and then just like suddenly realize I have a 50-50 or worse. If fizzy was all gray, I'd probably guess ninny. I don't really like ninny, though. I really don't think ninny's going to be an answer. But the times that I've lost are usually when I go, that word won't be an answer. So I got to be careful with that. Jiffy. Jiffy is also possible. And unfortunately, actually, Jiffy and fizzy do have overlap with the F. That's interesting. So they get each other, which is nice. A nice property. That means I could just guess one or the other. Is there really nothing else? It's really tempting just to guess Jiffy or fizzy and just hope for the best here. Okay, I'm going to go with fizzy because I think that's really fun. Okay, I do think we are Jiffy then. Yes. As soon as that J turned green, it's like, yeah, that's going to be Jiffy. Maybe an early celebration, but it was a relief when it turned green. All right, wow. Jiffy and 6, yeah, that's tough. This is probably the hardest word in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of fails on Jiffy. You've got the Y ending trap. As you can see, there's just a lot of options there. And Jiffy is not easy to think of as a word. But like, it's basically only used in the, like, I'll be there in a jiffy, right? I'll be there quickly. Some people may not have heard that phrase. All right, cool. Well, let's ask WordleBot whether we got lucky and whether we made good decisions. So obviously trees and beard were just gray. Let's just turn on hard mode here. So it would go with cling here. I went with lucky. Is lucky even listed? Lucky is not listed. I went with lucky. We'll go over its hard mode solve after because I am pretty interested. Okay, so we just got the Y from that. So we were down to 14 answers at this point. Both Jiffy and fizzy there. Oh, ninny is a likely answer. Ooh. So I think I did get lucky on the ninny. Piggy is interesting. Woozy. Okay, whiny was a word. Okay, so what did I go with? I went with pygmy, which is apparently not a likely answer. Where is it? Here it is, pygmy. So we got the IY. That brought us down to fizzy, jiffy, or ninny. You know what? It was actually fine. I wasn't in danger, and then this is the reason, is because I went for fizzy or jiffy. If you go for fizzy or jiffy, then you're perfectly fine because they get each other, right? The F was yellow, right? The F was yellow here. So let's just show that. We were down to just jiffy or niffy, but niffy is unlikely, and I never would have even thought that was a word. So I was actually fine, surprisingly. Even if the answer was ninny, we would have been fine. Okay. So now I want to go back. Let's look at its hard mode solve from here. It says cling. And so our answer was jiffy. So we just get the I. Wow, it goes right for these are all equally likely, but we're only down to fizzy, hippo, hippie, jiffy, wimpy. So it's saying go jimpy, or let's see, are any of these answers wimpy? So go for wimpy or fizzy or jiffy is what it's saying to do. It doesn't really matter because after that you're going to get the answer is what it's saying. So we get the IY here, and we're down to fizzy or jiffy here. I see. Okay. It's average 2 guesses, but in this is the worst case for wimpy. If we went with fizzy, then we're down to just jiffy. Jimpy is obviously just gonna immediately get it. So all of these, it's like saying pick one of these 9 words. I don't care which. And some of them are just going to be better for jiffy than others, but they're all just fine. Okay, now, but if we go all the way back to the beginning and we start with its Salé guess, nothing from jiffy. So it suggests, interestingly, after Salé in hard mode, there's only 2 things you can guess to not have a possible fail. That's really interesting. But it says croup is the best thing to do there. Nothing in croup. We're down to 15 answers. Now it says go dying. So there's a lot of words starting with D. Well, 3 words starting with D. That's a lot considering there's 15 words left. It gets the Y, but it tests it second, which gets you vying as well. That's pretty handy. It still locks you into a Y. Most of these words end in Y. Anyway, so dying. We get 2 yellows here. And now we're down to fizzy or jiffy. I feel like that's just always the thing, fizzy or jiffy. And so if we get unlucky, we still then just end up as jiffy, and it gets it in 5. So yeah, that getting it in 5 is that means it's hard for this bot. This bot's really good. It probably averages close to 3 guesses, a little over 3 guesses. In fact, we can actually ask. So Salé is averaging 3.5 guesses, and jiffy took 5. That's kind of interesting. All right, cool. Well, that's a lot of analysis. This is a long video, so let's spin the wheel of themes and see what tomorrow's theme will bring us. All right, a yoga / meditation theme suggested by Jamie Eve. So just leave a comment with 2 starting words related to yoga meditation for me to start with tomorrow. And of course, if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.